And given Hunter's deep ties to China, Russia, Ukraine, not to mention the crack cocaine, the prostitutes, you would think that the FBI and the DOJ would want to make sure that there's no classified documents in Hunter's possession. After all, he was in the very house where classified documents were found. But again, to the best of our knowledge, Hunter's house has not been raided. Why not? What's really going on? Here to help answer those questions, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, I guess the obvious question is why? Why is there a double standard? And, why would you let Joe Biden go to a house that you have to search 10 days prior to your search? Why wouldn't the search have taken place first?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, there's been a double standard throughout the Biden presidency. This Biden Department of Justice is the most political Department of Justice we've ever seen. When it comes to Donald Trump, they come after him. Their objective is political. They want to take him down. When it comes to Joe Biden, their objective is to protect him. We now know Joe Biden's homes and offices have been raided by the FBI not once, not twice, but 3 times. We know that he was raided in November, and yet the FBI kept it a secret. The DOJ kept it a secret. They leak like a sieve when it concerns Donald Trump. But when it concerns Joe Biden, they keep it utterly secret. And the pattern, at this point, Sean, is there a place Joe Biden doesn't leave classified documents? This is just becoming weird. It's like wherever he goes, he just leaves a cache of classified documents. And I got to say, this is something I discussed in depth on my podcast, Verdict, where I went into the details of this scandal. And in particular, there's a special prosecutor that's been appointed by the Attorney General. And there's a way to know whether that special prosecutor is actually trying to follow the law. In poker, you have a tell. You have some sort of signal that shows what you're really doing. Here's the tell. If the special prosecutor is following the law, they will be looking at the connections between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, because Hunter Biden made a career out of selling access to his father and making millions of dollars from Communist China, from Burisma in Ukraine, and they will be looking at those connections. If they're trying to protect the Biden White House, they will be trying to separate the two and say, well, look at Hunter for his drugs, for his tax evasion, but it's all personal. Don't connect him to the big guy. And I got to say, on that laptop from hell, there are multiple emails right now that on the face of it appear to have been written relying on official government briefing documents. There's one email right before Hunter Biden gets invited to be on the board of Burisma to make $83,000 a month. This email is incredibly detailed. It has 22 points. It's scholarly. It's erudite. It reads like the briefing paper that a government official gets before you take a trip abroad. It reads like a scene setter. Joe Biden was going to Ukraine the very next week, and it raises an obvious question. Did Hunter Biden read the briefing materials Joe Biden was given? Did he cut and paste them and put them in this email? And then here's the $64,000 question. Did those briefers include classified materials? If they did, then Joe Biden and Hunter Biden both likely committed criminal offenses. Now, I don't know the answer to that. I know this email was written by a Russia and Ukraine expert, and Hunter Biden is not a Russia and Ukraine expert. And so the special counsel needs to examine the briefings, and in particular the classified briefings that Joe Biden received at the time, compare them to Hunter Biden's email, and if there is a connection, that needs to be the focus of the criminal case.
What you're referring to is the email to his Burisma business partner. You're saying, and I believe Senator Ron Johnson said it as well, that it infers direct access to classified information. You're right. He's not an expert on any of these things. With the Alcoa case and the offer to give information on Russian oligarchs, how would Hunter Biden know anything about a Russian oligarch? That's a great mystery to me, just like this email has great specificity on a topic that he went on Good Morning America and admitted that he had no knowledge of, no experience in, and ended up getting paid, what, $83,000 a month or something to that effect.
Yeah. Well, look, the Alcoa email, he was asking Alcoa, pay me $55,000. Now, I want you to think, when was the last time you demanded of someone, give me 55 grand for what? For my insight on Russian oligarchs and their networks of elites in Russia. And he's pitching this to them. Now, listen, Hunter Biden doesn't know anything about this. He doesn't have any history or background in this, which means, at a minimum, he made a business out of selling access to Daddy, making millions of dollars to Daddy. But the inference from both of these emails, the obvious inference is that he's reading materials assembled for his father when he's the sitting vice president. And both of these materials, look, the intelligence agencies do assessments of Russian oligarchs, of the networks of elites. What he's offering to sell is exactly the type of material that is contained in classified briefings. And we will know, this special counsel. On the plus side, this special counsel, Robert Hur, was a former clerk to Chief Justice William Rehnquist. That's encouraging. Chief Justice Rehnquist was my former boss. That's encouraging. On the negative side, this special counsel was the right hand to Rod Rosenstein and also to Chris Wray. That raises real concerns about his involvement in the Russia hoax and the abuses from the deep state going after Donald Trump. And it really will be, the proof will be in the pudding. If he is willing to examine the evidence, I believe the FBI needs to search the documents at the University of Delaware, and it needs to search Hunter Biden's home and business addresses to see if there are classified documents at any of those places.
I couldn't agree with you more. Senator Ted Cruz, thank you. We appreciate your time.